In 2022, romance scams cost victims over $1.3 billion in the United States alone, with nearly 70,000 individuals falling prey to these deceitful schemes. This staggering figure reveals the dark underbelly of online dating and social media, where love is weaponized for financial gain. As computers, smartphones, and social media technologies evolve, so too do the tactics of scammers, resulting in millions of gullible victims every year with astounding losses, destruction of lives, and emotional turmoil that the victims have to live with, often reliving the bitter memories of their scams. What often starts as a random online encounter quickly becomes the quicksand that could lead to even the worst of outcomes. Romance scams are a sinister form of deception that exploits the most vulnerable aspects of human nature, our emotions and our desire for connection. Scammers create fake profiles on dating sites and social media platforms, weaving intricate tales to lure victims into their web of lies. By preying on trust and affection, they manipulate individuals into sending money or sharing sensitive information, often leading to devastating emotional and financial consequences. This investigation looks into the super secretive yet prolific world of romance scams, focusing on the notorious networks that operate globally, particularly the infamous Yahoo Boys, or Nigerian Prince from Nigeria, called sweetheart scams in India, or simply online love scams, or worst, pig butchering scams in Singapore. These scams are widespread everywhere in the world, with syndicates forming around key centres where scammers can live fake lives to show their potential victims over a period of time long enough to gain trust and scam them of their hard-earned money. The rise of romance scams has been alarming, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, which saw a surge in online interactions from both good and bad actors alike. Victims often face a dual challenge: the emotional fallout from betrayal and the financial ruin that follows. Reports indicate that victims can lose tens of thousands of dollars, with some even losing their life savings. The emotional toll is equally significant. Many victims experience depression, anxiety, and a profound sense of betrayal. The challenge is compounded by the fact that many victims feel ashamed or embarrassed, leading to underreporting of these crimes. Scammers employ a variety of tactics to ensnare their victims. They typically start by creating attractive profiles using stolen images, often of seemingly affluent individuals. Once a connection is made, they engage in a grooming process, showering their targets with affection and attention. This love bombing creates a false sense of intimacy, making it easier for them to eventually request money. Real-life stories show just how bad these scams can be for the victims involved. Take the case of a woman from Canada who met a charming man online. Canada is the third largest market for these scammers. After weeks of flirtation, he convinced her to make a check deposit into her account, only for the check to bounce from the bank, leaving her 20,000 Canadian dollars in debt, and her online lover, who went by the name Dre, was nowhere to be found. Although Dre had previously met her in person, it didn't prevent him from getting away with such a scam. She was left not only financially devastated, but emotionally shattered as well. This woman has since banded with other women victims of the same perpetrator to track him down, but that won't be easy, and it most likely won't bring back her money. These scams thrive on social media and dating platforms, where anonymity allows scammers to operate without fear of immediate repercussions. The Yahoo Boys, a term used to describe a group of Nigerian scammers, have become notorious for their sophisticated schemes, often involving multiple individuals working together to maximize their gains. They exploit platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and dating apps to reach potential victims, employing various strategies to build trust and manipulate emotions. Facebook even had to close down over 63,000 accounts linked to romance scams. But what happens when victims decide to take back their power? A key moment in the fight against romance scams occurred when a group of victims banded together to confront a scammer who had duped multiple individuals. What became a hit on Netflix was The Tinder Swindler, who stole $10 million. They pooled their resources and information, tracking down the scammer's online presence. In a dramatic twist, they managed to lure him into a conversation, recording the interaction as he attempted to justify his actions. This confrontation not only provided catharsis for the victims, but also shed light on the inner workings of the scam network. Investigators were able to use this information to track the scammers' activities, leading to a coordinated effort with law enforcement agencies. This breakthrough highlighted the importance of collaboration among victims, law enforcement, and social media platforms in combating these criminal networks. The impact of romance scams extends far beyond financial loss. They leave deep emotional scars on victims and erode trust in online relationships. As these scams become more sophisticated, individuals must remain vigilant and informed. Awareness is the first step in prevention, and understanding the tactics employed by scammers can empower potential victims to protect themselves. Have you or someone you know experienced a romance scam? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could help others recognize the signs and avoid similar pitfalls. Don't forget to subscribe to Falak Quest. Together, we can confront and dismantle the networks that prey on our emotions, turning the tide against these notorious criminals. Over $350 billion will be spent annually on online courses and coaching services, with a significant portion going to business gurus promising quick riches next year. At the heart of the online guru scheme is sometimes a genuine desire to help people like you, but let's be honest, like a Ponzi scheme, the majority of these schemes take much more money from the pockets of the people they want to help than they put back into their pockets. $350 billion spent in this industry is nothing short of staggering, but it also raises an important question. Are these investments truly worth it, or are they just a pathway to disappointment and even hurt? There have always been people selling remedies, from the famed snake oil salesman who sold remedies that could cure anything to our modern-day traders selling bots and tips, to our gurus selling any kind of knowledge promising the average person insane wealth beyond their wildest dreams. These schemes are never going away. They only change in form and salespeople, but under the hood they all sell hope. The hope to become a wonderful trader, a million subscriber based YouTuber, an Amazon FBA entrepreneur, a dropshipping mogul, and more. It's all about the promise of money. The number one way they do this is to show they have already made it, either fake or real, which is often impossible for the untrained eye to spot. The rise of online business gurus has transformed the landscape of personal and professional development, that's for sure. With promises of financial freedom and success, many individuals, including myself, have been lured into investing substantial amounts of money in their courses and coaching programs. Now don't get me wrong, some of these courses provide good information, but is the information worth the price when I can get the same or much better information on YouTube and by reading some blog posts? My journey led me to spend an astonishing $100,000 on various online business gurus, hoping to find just the right secrets to the success I wanted, and who best to learn from than the experts. But what I discovered along the way was a mix of valuable insights and disheartening realities about the industry. Going through online business advice can be overwhelming. With countless options available, from marketing courses to life coaching, it's easy to feel lost in a sea of promises and flashy marketing. The challenge lies not only in selecting the right course, but also in discerning which gurus or experts are genuinely knowledgeable and which are merely exploiting the dreams of aspiring entrepreneurs. Many individuals, like myself, enter this realm with high hopes, only to face common hurdles such as information overload, high costs, and lack of accountability. The sheer volume of courses and conflicting advice can lead to confusion and frustration, while investing in multiple courses can quickly add up, leading to financial strain without guaranteed results. Additionally, many courses lack personalized support, leaving students to navigate challenges on their own. My journey began innocently enough with a single course. After reading The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, I was inspired to seek out resources that would help me achieve a similar lifestyle. I purchased a marketing course on Udemy for $50, filled with excitement and anticipation. Unfortunately, the course was riddled with filler content and failed to provide the actionable steps I was seeking. Undeterred, I continued my quest for knowledge, investing in a series of courses ranging from $1,500 to $25,000. Each guru had their own unique selling proposition, promising to open to me the secrets of success they had already achieved for themselves. Some notable experiences included a charismatic salesman who convinced me to invest $10,000 in a coaching program that lacked substance, a proven system that claimed to provide a step-by-step blueprint for success but was outdated and ineffective, and courses that emphasized the importance of community and networking but ultimately focused on upselling additional courses. Through these experiences, I learned valuable lessons about the importance of due diligence and the need to critically evaluate the claims made by online business gurus. While some courses provided valuable information, many fell short of their promises, leaving me feeling disillusioned and financially drained. The turning point in my journey came during a particularly enlightening session with a mentor who had a genuine track record of success. Unlike the previous gurus, this individual focused on practical strategies and emphasized the importance of building a solid foundation for any business. One key insight I gained was the value of mindset and resilience in the face of challenges. Rather than solely focusing on quick wins, this mentor encouraged me to embrace the process of learning and growing regardless of immediate financial success. This perspective shift was transformative, leading me to prioritize long-term strategies over short-term gains. Now, most course sellers and online gurus won't tell you that you can find the same information they provide in their course online for free, but I will. It's all on the internet for free. You might have to do some digging of your own, but in my opinion, that actually enriches your knowledge far more than sitting in pre-recorded videos that know nothing about your experience, what you are looking to achieve, and how best to help you individually achieve the results you want. What's worse is that some courses are nothing but pipe dream castles making cash only for the course creator. Reflecting on my journey of spending $100,000 on online business gurus, I've come to realize that while there are valuable lessons to be learned, the industry is fraught with pitfalls. Key takeaways from my experience include the importance of doing thorough research on potential gurus, evaluating the true value of their offerings, embracing the journey of learning and growth, and seeking genuine mentorship from individuals who prioritize your success over their own profits. Have you invested in courses that were worth it, or did you feel let down? Share your experiences with me and subscribe to Falak Quest for more insights into online business strategies, and check out my other videos where I talk about entrepreneurship and personal development. Witnessing tragedies is part of life, but what is not normal is witnessing a tragedy, while completely doing nothing to help the victims. And that's just plain merciless. What's even brutal is that most of us would prefer to watch victims suffer rather than swoop in to help them. That is the bystander effect. For you, you may have been scrolling through your social media feed and stumbled upon a video of a fight breaking out on the bus. Maybe it's two teenagers yelling or someone cutting in line. You see people around them, just watching, filming even, but no one seems to step in. Our social media world today is full of content like this. But what really is happening here? It's a weird feeling, right? Like a tiny voice in your head whispers, "Shouldn't someone do something?" But then a bigger voice pipes up with excuses. Maybe it's not that serious, or someone else will probably handle it. This, my friends, is the bystander effect in action. The bystander effect is this fascinating phenomenon where the more people who witness an emergency, the less likely any one of them is to actually help. It's like a social paralysis, and it can happen to any of us. Studies by social psychologists Bib Latane and John Darley showed that in some cases, even with dozens of bystanders, no one intervened to help a person in distress. Here's the science behind it. Imagine you're walking down the street and see someone trip and fall, scraping their knee. There's a good chance you'll stop and offer a hand, right? But what if there are 10 other people around? Suddenly, the responsibility to help feels a bit more diffused. We might think, well, someone else will surely help, and that little voice urging us to act gets quieter. This diffusion of responsibility is a big culprit in the bystander effect. Another major factor is social influence. We often look to others for cues on how to behave in a situation. If everyone around us seems calm and unconcerned, we might subconsciously conclude that the situation isn't serious enough to warrant intervention, or even that the victims deserve their suffering. Think about it like this. Have you ever been in a crowded movie theatre when the fire alarm goes off? At first, there might be a moment of confusion. People look around to see what others are doing. If everyone seems calm and slow to move, it can be tempting to follow suit, even if you know you should probably be heading for the exit. The bystander effect isn't just about dramatic emergencies, it can also play a role in everyday situations. Imagine you're on a hike in a beautiful national park and you see a group of teenagers littering the trail. You might feel a pang of annoyance, but the bystander effect might hold you back from speaking up. After all, they're just teenagers, right? And besides, there are other park rangers around, surely they'll handle it. But here's the thing, by letting the bystander effect win, you're missing opportunities to make a positive difference in the world, big or small. The good news is, there are ways to overcome this effect and become an active bystander. The first step is simply being aware of the bystander effect. Knowing that it exists can be half the battle. When you find yourself in a situation where you witness someone needing help, take a deep breath and challenge those little voices in your head. Here are some practical tips you can use to improve your response to events that trigger the bystander effect. 1. Don't wait for someone else to act. Be the first one to speak up or offer help. 2. Be direct. Instead of a vague shout for help, single out a specific person and ask them to assist. 3. Confidence is key. Even if you're feeling nervous, project confidence and take charge of the situation. 4. Safety first. Assess the situation and prioritize your own safety before directly intervening. And 5. Remember, even a small act of intervention can make a big difference. Maybe you stop someone from littering or help a lost tourist find their way. These seemingly minor actions can create a ripple effect of positive change. The bystander effect can be compared to a phenomenon we all experience as travelers, the diffusion of responsibility for cleanliness in public spaces. Think about airplane bathrooms, for instance. Because everyone uses them and no one person feels particularly responsible for cleaning them, they can become messy quickly. The same logic applies to tourist attractions or crowded beaches. If everyone throws away their trash or cleans up after themselves, these spaces stay pleasant for everyone. Ultimately, overcoming the bystander effect is about cultivating empathy and taking responsibility for the world around us. By being aware of this effect and taking action when needed, we can all become active bystanders, creating a more positive and helpful world one step at a time. Have you ever noticed how sometimes the more someone believes in you, the more you tend to rise to the occasion? Or perhaps you've experienced the opposite. When someone doubts your abilities, it becomes harder to perform at your best. It's almost as if their beliefs about you become a self-fulfilling prophecy. This phenomenon is what we call the Pygmalion Effect, and it's a powerful force that can shape our reality in profound ways. Let's start with a bold statement that most of us can relate to: you'll never amount to anything. Imagine hearing those words from a parent, a teacher, or even a close friend. How would that make you feel? Chances are, it would be a major blow to your self-confidence and motivation. And that's exactly what the Pygmalion Effect is all about. When someone has low expectations of us, we tend to live up, or rather, down to those expectations. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Pygmalion Effect can also work in our favour. Think back to a time when someone believed in you wholeheartedly, like a coach who saw your potential or a mentor who encouraged you to reach for the stars. Didn't that positive reinforcement fuel you to work harder and achieve more? That's the power of positive expectations at play. Now, let's take a deeper look into the occurrence of this fascinating phenomenon. The Pygmalion Effect, also known as the Rosenthal Effect, is a form of self-fulfilling prophecy. It was first studied by researchers Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson in the 1960s, who found that teachers' expectations of their students significantly influenced the students' academic performance. The higher the expectations, the better the students performed, and vice versa. But why does this happen? Well, it all boils down to human behavior and psychology. When someone believes in us, we tend to internalize those positive expectations, which can boost our confidence, motivation, and effort. On the flip side, when people doubt our abilities, we may subconsciously start to doubt ourselves, leading to a self-sabotaging cycle of underperformance. Psychologists have studied the Pygmalion Effect for many years. In one famous experiment, researchers told teachers that some students in their class were bloomers, students with hidden potential for rapid intellectual growth. And guess what? The students labelled as bloomers actually showed significantly greater improvement on IQ tests compared to their classmates. Why? Because the teachers, believing these students were capable of more, treated them differently. They gave them more challenging work, offered more encouragement, and paid closer attention to their progress. These positive expectations in turn motivated the students to work harder and achieve more. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a student anymore. How does this apply to me? The Pygmalion Effect isn't just about teachers and students. It applies to all areas of life. Have you ever felt like your boss doesn't believe in you? Studies show that employees who feel their managers have low expectations tend to perform worse. They may disengage from their work, put in less effort, and even start looking for a new job. The Pygmalion Effect extends far beyond the classroom. It can impact our careers, relationships, and personal growth in profound ways. In the workplace, for instance, employees who are given high expectations and opportunities to grow often rise to the challenge and excel. Conversely, those who are pigeonholed or treated with low expectations may start to believe they are incapable of more, hindering their professional development. In personal relationships, the Pygmalion Effect can shape how we see ourselves and our partners. If your significant other believes in your potential and encourages you to pursue your dreams, you're more likely to thrive. But if they constantly doubt or belittle you, it can erode your self-esteem and hold you back from reaching your full potential. And when it comes to personal growth, the Pygmalion Effect plays a crucial role. If you surround yourself with people who believe in your abilities and push you to grow, you're more likely to embrace challenges and achieve your goals. On the other hand, if you're constantly surrounded by naysayers and doubters, it can be challenging to break free from that negative mindset. Now, let's talk about how you can use the power of the Pygmalion Effect for your own benefit, and perhaps even help others do the same. First, it's essential to cultivate a growth mindset and surround yourself with people who believe in your potential. Seek out mentors, colleagues, or friends who will encourage and support you rather than those who doubt or belittle you. To top it up, be mindful of the expectations you set for yourself. Instead of setting the bar too low, challenge yourself with ambitious yet achievable goals. When you believe in your own abilities, you're more likely to rise to the occasion. And if you're in a position of leadership or mentorship, be conscious of the expectations you set for others. Encourage and uplift those around you, and watch them flourish under your positive influence. And finally, remember that the Pygmalion Effect can work both ways. Just as positive expectations can propel us forward, negative expectations can hold us back. Be aware of the self-limiting beliefs or doubts that may be holding you back, and make a conscious effort to challenge and overcome them. The Pygmalion Effect is a powerful force that can shape our reality, both positively and negatively. By understanding its principles and harnessing its power, we can unlock our full potential, achieve greater success, and even inspire others to do the same. So let's choose to believe in ourselves and those around us, and watch as our expectations become self-fulfilling prophecies of greatness.